What the most private thing you're willing to admit? I'm a middle-aged mom who will sneak to Target and buy toys for myself, like dolls, not collectibles, just toys. I hide them from my husband and just basically look at them when I'm alone. I think it's because I grew up poor and didn't have much, so now that I'm making okay money, I'm spending it on random stuff in secret and I feel incredibly weird and guilty because of it. I don't want to kill myself, but I also don't want to live. I feel like I can't relate to 99% of people that I meet, interact with, and it's getting worse. Feel like a total alien. Edit. Wow, did not expect this response. Guess I'm more of an Earth dweller than I thought, or we're all aliens, which is even cooler. Will take me a while to get through all the responses. Thanks so much everyone. I can't stand being around 98% of my extended family. When I was like 7, I went almost 2 full months strictly pissing in my mom's various houseplants because she yelled at me for knocking one over, so I got my revenge the best way I could think of at the time. I have no goals. We are supposed to figure out who we want to be and what we want from our lives. It's almost an expectation that we have to want something out of life. But I have never wanted to be anything, and I have never wanted to do anything. I have no passions. I don't think I'm depressed though. I've always been this way. I do have a job which is okay, and a family I love. But I'm pretty much just going to keep existing until I don't. I often find myself anticipating arguments and then will proceed to spend minutes to hours building a defense case against said hypothetical confrontation, only for the confrontation never to materialize. It's often not even with anyone I already know, it could be a judgmental remark from a complete stranger that I've yet to even meet. But boy, when that day comes, if ever, I'll be prepared to drop knowledge bombs on them that will make them wish they never tried to come at me. Until then, I'll just live in a constant state of stress manufactured by my own brain. I just want to leave my life behind and start over somewhere. Not telling my friends and family anything. Just leave. I have never felt like a priority to anyone. It would offend my family and friends, I'm sure, but I have seen the way they prioritize other people and I yearn for that so badly in just one person. Edit. I'm overwhelmed by the outpouring of love I've received both in comments but mostly in private messages. Working on responding to those cold sweat smile. I'm sad so many of us share this feeling, but I feel very compelled to advise that we all reach out to one another to maybe offset this feeling of unimportance. Your best friend could be in this comment section. Anyone can reach out to me whenever about whatever, and if you're in the Hoosier state, LMK. Thank you for all of the awards as well. I'm tired of being alone. I'm an extreme overthinker. Like my girlfriend, won't open a message of mine for a few hours and I'll be fully in my head thinking of all the bad things that could be happening. Or I'll show up late to work and I'll be terrified that I'm going to be fired for the whole day. I never act on those thoughts because I always have that little bit of sanity telling me that I'm overthinking, but it's still there and it fucking sucks. I'm not alright mentally. Sometimes I go into the woods to scream. Not like to release stress, just to scream like a wildman. I'm an alcoholic and I've been sober for 98 days. Everyone always asks, do you miss it? I say no every time, but I'm only lying to myself. I've missed it for every single one of those 98 days. It's not getting easier. Upside down face, the struggle is real. How much I hate my friends for not being there for me the way I have always been there for them. If they were, life would be far different. I'm going to therapy for the first time at the age of 30. I am fake 90% of the time, especially around friends and at work. I pretend to be happy, funny, silly, and like I'm okay. I am deeply not okay and crave being alone because it's the only time I can take the mask off. I am who I wish I actually was around other people. But it's not real. Edit. Looks like I've found my people lol. Thank you to everyone who shared their experiences, support and advice. I will seriously consider seeking help, and I wish all you fellow fakers the very best. I envy people with functional families. I can't name a single thing that I like about myself. My mental health is way worse than I let off sometimes. I try to act happy because I know I'm a role model for a lot of my friends who mimic my mood. I can't forgive my mom for allowing my stepfather to molest me as a small child. 49 yo. It went on for years, she ignored it, she doesn't take any responsibility for the struggles I've had to go through because of it. She thinks I'm a failure even though I'm doing really well for myself, all things considered. Recovering addict. Thanks to hard work, the right partner and lots of education, I have a healthy marriage and sex life, but it was so hard. Harder than it had any right to be. I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive her. I really wonder what my life would have been like. I'm 32 and have no idea what I'm doing in my life. Edit. This got way more traction than I thought it would. Happy to see I'm not the only person feeling like this. Also appreciate all the advice from people. Seems like a lot of people here are lonely. So am I? Anyone want to be friends? I know I could use one. I'm not very good, but sometimes I play chess online with my brother. Anyone want to play? Or chat? Or whatever. I had a little family. Me, my fiancé and my 2 kitties. It didn't end up working out. Now I'm alone in the world. I miss having a family so much. When I was little I would pee in the corner of my room at night when I would wake up. Why? I don't know, I just really didn't want to walk the 3 feet to the bathroom, I guess. Edit. My parents never found out. We were also renting the house and it was sold after we moved out, so sorry to the people who moved in after us, and I was about 10 or 11. I wish I could justify why I did this, but I simply can't. Thanks for the upvotes though. I shot and killed someone in a home invasion situation. Even though it was a justified shooting, the guilt is there every day. I know deep down that if I stop chasing and putting effort in the relationships I have in my life, they'll quickly fall apart because people never really see me as someone worth being close to. I'm just an afterthought. So I always put 95% of the effort into them just so that I don't end up alone. Oh, also, I've never been in a healthy romantic relationship and have been single 3+ years. So there's that too. Edit. I'm blown away by the support I've been getting. Thank you all for the awards and the lovely words. My heart goes out to everyone who's in a similar situation. I almost shit myself on my first date while walking home with them because the food didn't agree with me. I barely made it to the toilet. I live inside my head way more than is healthy. Edited to say, I have depression and anxiety and am an introvert. I basically have an alternate timeline for my own life that I play in my head. It starts right before HS and I kind of fix all of my bad life decisions. Confused face. Edit 2. Wow, I rarely have a comment get this much attention. I can't reply to everyone, but I'm really glad I'm not alone in this. I'm pretending to have my life together, but secretly I'm always on the edge of a breakdown. I hold on by my fingernails for the sake of my family because I love them to pieces. I hope they never realize I'm one step from disaster. I'm suffering from severe anxiety and it's impairing my life. Edit. I'm glad people in this thread are realizing they're not alone. Heart, please stop telling me to live healthier. See a doctor. I've been waiting to see a doctor for 4 months and I already eat healthy, go outside, exercise, and get 8 hours sleep. I don't own a gun, not because I'm against it, but because I don't trust myself to not shoot myself. I love to go shooting with friends and I am a rather good long-distance shot. They all ask why I don't bite the bullet and buy a gun of my own. I pay for ammo, and I just say costs. But the truth is, while I'm not suicidal, I just don't trust myself at 3 a.m. when I wake up crying. I'm currently 5 days self-harm free. I am still in love with someone who destroyed a piece of my soul last year. I'm beginning to hate all of the things that used to define me. I'm just getting colder and colder and I don't feel bad for it, I'm just nostalgic for my old self. I'm very lonely. I haven't had sex or masturbated in over 2 years. Even though I'm over 20, I still have the imagination of a kid. I have multiple anime-inspired world where I'm a main character in my head that I created, and whenever I get bored or I'm just doing nothing or walking in the street I imagine scenarios, fight scenes, love stories and character backgrounds. I wonder if I'm the only one doing that or if other people would do the same. I've been addicted to pills plus H since I was 13 and lied to my therapist Abdit even though it's a big part of why I need therapy. I'm a high-functioning alcoholic. I was anally raped by my now ex-husband almost 3 years ago. I think I have permanent damage there from it, but I'm too embarrassed and triggered to go to a specialist. I don't know that I ever will. I've even avoided a gyno since. Side note, please don't rape people. I'm talkative and get people to laugh quite a bit. But the attention makes me so nervous that I shake. I generally hate everything I say. I just have no filter and can't stop talking when I'm nervous. So, the cycle continues and I just don't stop talking. I also feel like I don't understand social care. It's always embarrassing when I think about it later. I recently got my license. I'm 27. I'm attracted to old women. This is gonna sound edgy as fuck, but I feel completely detached from life. I think because I was suicidal for a prolonged period I just sort of shrugged my way out of that. I have a baby and a fiancé and a house, and I think I can act normal enough to be normal, and be happy, at least at times. But there are moments of realization that I could walk out and feel nothing. Or I could become a monster and feel nothing except that I was maybe finally in control of my choices. Just a weird feeling that is hard to put into words. Thank you for making me think more on it. The only thing keeping me alive are my cats. I honestly much prefer the company of my children over having a romantic relationship with anyone. Having 3 kids and being a single father in his 30s is a turn-off to a lot of women. In fact, I've been rejected quite a lot due to this. I therefore have absolutely zero intent to engage in a relationship. I'd much rather be single and be there for my kids than date. I also enjoy what little free time I do have. A good book is 50x better than a shitty date. I still think about my miscarriage every day. It's been 4.5 years and I've had another child since, my son who I wouldn't trade for anything. But I still think about it. Was it a boy or a girl? Should I have asked? What would it have looked like? Would anything I could have done or not done have changed anything? I think it might haunt me until I die, but I'm also scared that I'll forget this deeply personal traumatic thing. In all likelihood, I'm going to be alone for the remainder of my life. And I'm sadly okay with it. I want to stop talking to my friend of 16 years. He keeps screwing married women, and he's become extremely shady. His moods and mental stages in life change constantly in life, and it's exhausting to deal with. Oh damn. I'm 51. I don't feel old, but even after I've scrapped, fought hard, saved, and did everything I was supposed to. Yeah, I don't feel well. I'm financially independent. Not rich. But I'm okay now. But I drink an 18-pack of cheap American beer every day of my life. I had for over 20 years. I wish I didn't. I'm not even sure I got here. I wish I could stop. I think it's too late for me now. But if there's anyone out there who struggles, please do anything you can to start living. If you think you might have a drinking problem, do anything you can to stop now. Or at least slow down. Sorry to be such a bummer.